Alright, hey guys, I switched hotel rooms. We're in Atlanta now. I'm taking my friends here from South Carolina to Chewy's. They've never been to to Austin, and I had no idea that Chewy's was getting out of Austin and going other places, let alone all the way to Georgia. But I'm going to talk about my water system here because I'm going to throw most of these bottles away. But I use the Sawyer Squeeze. This was one I purchased in New Hampshire. I had to quickly order it because when I was in the whites, I dropped my other one and it shattered on the rocks. I know there's a lot of other options out there for water filters, but just stick with the Sawyer. It's the most durable. It's the, tried and true, and it's just fantastic. This is a smart water bottle cap, the sports cap on top, so I can back flush. And this was the original one I carried. It's still a little skanky in there, so who knows what kind of bacteria is in there. But I never lost it. I had a spare one in my my pack, but never had to use it. I already threw it away. So let's go over my main bottle. So this size right here is 1 liter. This is what I kept in my front pocket. Originally this was a smart bottle, but I got rid of that one. Grew a hole in it, and then I got another smart water bottle and it ended up busting. And then this is a Life Water, which I finished my hike with. Granted, we're talking stupidity of what the difference is, but I would say the smart water bottle is a little bit better. It makes a little bit less noise than the Life Water bottle. So that was my main one. I have this smaller bottle, which is what I really recommend everyone carrying one. I'm assuming it's gonna be like 16 ounces or whatever like this. This was a drought year in 2025. I use this water bottle a lot to get water out of small puddles and small little streams, and I would just take it and then dump it into the other bottle. Definitely carry one this size. Other than that, I didn't really use it. For when I got to camp, I have this 1.5 liters just to carry heavy water. I never really used it on trail itself. When I got to around like 20-25 miles and I knew I needed to find a camp, I would fill this up and then walk with the extra weight on my back. But other than that, so for a while I had 2 Gatorade bottles. This is actually a sports 8 or whatever, it's a sports water bottle. And I had one that I carried in my other front pocket, which I mixed electrolytes into and my vitamins into, but I eventually got rid of it. So then I only ended up having one. This right here is my piss bottle. I kept this in my tent so I can, obviously use the white cap, pee inside it, and then dump it outside the tent really easily without getting outside in the cold, with the bugs, things like that. I think most men do that. Or even when I was in the shelter, I would walk around the corner and use this. That way I make less noise and not wake up other fellow hikers. Originally I started with the Talenti ice cream container, but somewhere in Virginia it fell out of my bag, and yes, 80's night littered, and I have no idea where it went. So I had to make shift with the peanut butter bottle, which eventually replaced this. So this is a Jif bottle, and so with this, I got rid of the old Gatorade bottle because I could now mix my vitamins and my electrolytes in here, also fit it in the pocket, while also using it to make oatmeal or any other kind of cold soaking I had to do. I did not have a cook set. I cold soaked the entire way. And so peanut butter jar, in all honesty, is better than that. I wish it was a little bit more tight. Every once in a while liquid did get through, you didn't tie it just right. But peanut butter jars over Talenti in my opinion right now, just because it'll slide into the pockets easier, even the side pockets, just easier to get in and out, while the Talenti cup is just wide and kind of obnoxious. I had this, actually let's do this first. So I had this Perea. It's like a knockoff of Canuck, which is the water bag. If I was to redo my hike, I would never have brought this in the first place. I used this a few times I can put it flat on some water coming down. It was like really hard to get water, but that little other water bottle is actually better in generally every other way. A lot of people like using this kind of stuff because they fill it with water and then they connect it with the certain Sawyer Squeeze and then let it drip down slowly. But after about 2 weeks, your water filter is not draining that quickly anyways with you squeezing it manually. So I don't see the point. Maybe if I'm doing like a long trail in the desert, I can see the point of this bag. The only thing I can see of a benefit of it is it doesn't make any noise. So if you are a very courteous hiker and you're in a shelter and you're making coffee in the morning, for instance, you can squeeze this out and make no noise whatsoever, while these make a lot of noise squeezing out. The other ones just do not. I thought I would be using olive oil or coconut oil a lot more than I did. I didn't. So if I was to redo this, I probably wouldn't have brought this. I did do the Ayurvedic medicine oil pulling because dental hygiene out here is not that good. So I went to add it on top of brushing my teeth normally. And in the very beginning, I did use the olive oil for chafing and things like that, but eventually I replaced it with just simple Vaseline and baby powder. So I probably wouldn't have brought this anyways. This container itself was a hot sauce from work. I was looking at Rush Up Your Crazy through doing this, and then the cap right here doesn't leak oil anywhere, and it was fantastic for that matter. This was my bidet, but I used it in the very beginning, but I didn't realize before I started this trail that the Appalachian Trail is just the land flowing with toilet paper. It's just toilet paper everywhere. You know, you either in hostels, either in porta potties, either in public bathrooms. It's just toilet paper is always available, so you never really have to carry more than 4 little rolls around your hands. And so I always try to carry about, so I can take a dump at least 4 or 5 times, and then that was all I carried. And so there was no reason to use this. I used it in the very beginning, but quickly stopped. I probably should just throw it away, but it wasn't as useful as I thought it was going to be. But whatever. But that's it for my liquid containers, and so this is what I use for carrying water and getting water and trying to keep myself clean as best as I could.